legs, hands, feet, toes, fingers, all those things you've grown fond of over the years. Probably want to take back with you when the tour is complete. Keep those inside. We are going to be going through some pretty narrow gates. Coming up on the left-hand side are the famous twin tunnels here at Daytona. Those are the original tunnels from 1959. They go about 25 feet underneath turn number 4. And they stretch a distance of 250 feet. They connect Bill France Boulevard on the outside of the speedway with the infield. Do have some major construction going on here at Daytona International Speedway. It's a project called Daytona Rising. For more on that and the construction of this place, I'm going to turn you over to a long-time NASCAR radio and television broadcaster, Mr. Ken Squire.
Daytona International Speedway was built with more than concrete and steel. It was built with vision, determination, and most of all, it was built with imagination. Imagination is what caused a small-town service station owner to dream of creating a racetrack that was bigger, faster, more exciting than any that came before or since. Imagination is what fuels every child who dreams of one day winning the great American race. Imagination is what's inspired millions of fans from all over the globe to climb into its grandstands and witness some of the greatest moments in motorsports history. Daytona Rising is a reimagining of what a race experience can be, blending the modern amenities that today's sports fans demand with the heritage that race fans expect from Daytona. Everything about the race experience, from seating to concessions to conveniences, will be reimagined to create the world's first true motorsports entertainment complex. Just as Daytona did more than 5 decades ago, Daytona Rising will harness the power of imagination yet again and reimagine an American icon in the process. To learn more about Daytona Rising, visit www.daytonarising.com.
Over on the right-hand side of the trim, out in the center of the speedway, there's a body of water over there. That is Lake Lloyd. It's a man-made lake, and it's from there that they pulled 1 million cubic yards of dirt to build the high banks here at the speedway. When Mr. Bill France Sr., also known as Big Bill, was looking for a place to construct a super speedway, he needed a piece of property that A, was large enough to accommodate a 2.5-mile facility, and B, had the right quantity and quality of dirt to build the high banks. And everything he needed all rolled up into this one piece of property, and Mr. France's dream became a reality with the opening of Daytona International Speedway for the first 500 in 1959. The actual construction of the speedway began in November of 1957, and it really didn't take them all that long to get everything together. They ran the first Daytona 500 on February 22nd, 1959. And 41,000 people attend that inaugural event. And next February, we'll celebrate the 56th anniversary of the Great American Race. A building across the street on the left-hand side, some of you might be familiar with that. That is the terminal for Daytona Beach International Airport. It makes it really convenient for fans flying in here on race day. They can literally get off the airplane, walk across the street, and catch the race. The race teams also fly into one of the fixed base operations over there at Daytona Beach International Airport. We're going to head through gate 65. As we do that, we'll be crossing over the backstretch. Turn number 2 is all the way down to the left-hand side. Turn 3 is off to the right-hand side. The backstretch connects those two turns. That's a distance of 3,000 feet. It looks flat back here, but the backstretch is actually banked at 3 degrees. It doesn't do a whole lot for the speed for the cars back here, but a little bit of banking does speed up the process of draining and drying the backstretch. Coming up on the right-hand side, there's a big Sunoco sign. As we roll by it, if you look up in between the two signs, you'll see a couple of seats up there. That is one of the official spotter stands. We have more of those around the Speedway. Anytime we have a NASCAR event here at Daytona, there are a couple of NASCAR officials in each one of those Sunoco stands watching for debris or other problems on the Speedway. If they see anything out of the ordinary, they'll call for a caution flag, and when that comes out, drivers immediately know something's wrong. They'll slow down, fall in behind the pace car until that problem is taken care of. We are in turn 3, 31 degrees of banking through turns 3 and 4. It's 2,600 feet around those two turns. And that is identical to turns 1 and 2 down at the west end of the Speedway. Need to do about 70 miles an hour to stay up on the banking comfortably, lap after lap. Anything much less than that, Mother Nature and gravity have a tendency to take over, pull you down onto the apron of the Speedway. The Sprint Cup Series drivers come through this banking 3 wide at more than 190 miles an hour. Now they'll occasionally try and make it 4 wide. Occasionally that works. Most of the time it doesn't. And somebody has a pretty good chance of getting into the outside wall, which fortunately is the SAFER barrier. SAFER stands for Steel and Foam Energy Reduction. We have 9 miles of steel tubing in the SAFER barrier. It's on the right-hand side, right there at the top of the Speedway, right next to the racing surface. There's a concrete wall on the outside and blocks of foam in between the two. If a car gets into that SAFER barrier, the steel tubing will flex or bend a little bit, and the foam behind it gives way a bit, and that greatly dissipates the energy from the impact. We are on the turn 4 skid pad. This gives the drivers a little runoff room over here if there's a problem coming off turn 4 headed down into the tri-oval section of the Speedway. A lot of this area out here that we're driving on used to be grass, and part of the problem that created was if a car got out of control, slid off into the grass, if there was any moisture in the grass, the car actually had a tendency to pick up a little speed before it got over to the inside retaining wall. So they put down the asphalt. Now the friction from the tires sliding across the asphalt slows the car down a bit. Hopefully gives that driver a little better opportunity to get it back under control before getting to the inside wall. And if they do get over that far on the skid pad, that is also the SAFER barrier. We're heading into the tri-oval section of the Speedway. It's banked at 18 degrees through here. In just a moment, we're going to come to a stop. I'm going to let you off the right-hand side of the tram to take some photographs here at the start and finish line. I do caution you to watch your step on the banking. 18 degrees is a lot steeper than it appears. And the flag stand will be about 22 feet above us here at start finish. And when the tram comes to a complete stop, I will ask that you exit to the right-hand side. If you would, just drop a chain there on the right-hand side. You are not permitted into the grass here on the left. That area is off limits. But if you'd like to drop a chain there on the right-hand side, we'll be able to stay here just a couple of minutes.
Hello. Hey, hello. Ik heb het niet. Hij is nog net filmen.
Ja. Maar ik zie dat niet volledig. Er gaat ingezoomd. Allee, gaat over die laan, jong? Ja?
Wat is vandaag?
Ja.
Ik ben toch 9 meter op.
Ja, maar het foto is handig, hè?
Dat is het is.
Dat is
Goed is weg.
moet wel van kinderen komen, hè? Dat is Engels het bom.
Ja, hey, dat staat hè.
Vind ik een foto.
Ja.